Deuteronomy 34 is not just the closing of Moshe's life. It is a picture of obedience, completion, transition, and legacy. Yahuwah brought Moshe to the top of the mountain and allowed him to see the land he had promised to Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Yet Moshe would not cross over into it. Think about that. Moshe had endured Pharaoh. He had walked through the sea. He had stood before a rebellious people. He had climbed the mountain. He had received the Torah. He had interceded. He had endured the wilderness. And after all of that, his journey ended on the other side of the promise. But that did not mean his life was wasted. Sometimes your obedience is bigger than what you personally get to experience. Some of us think success means we must see every promise completed with our own eyes. But sometimes Yahuwah uses your obedience to prepare the ground that someone else will walk upon. Moshe brought them to the edge. Yehoshua would lead them across. Deuteronomy 34:9 tells us that Yehoshua, son of Nun, was filled with the spirit of wisdom because Moshe had laid his hands upon him. The assignment continued. That means there are seasons when you must know how to lead and seasons when you must know how to release. There are things you may plant that another person will harvest. There are battles you may fight that make your children's road easier. There are prayers you may pray whose full answer reaches beyond your lifetime. There are acts of obedience whose impact you may never completely see. Obey anyway. And notice how Moshe finished. Deuteronomy 34:7 says he was 120 years old when he died. Yet his eyes were not dim and his strength had not left him. He didn't finish because he had nothing left. He finished because his appointed portion was complete. And that hits differently. Sometimes an ending is not failure. Sometimes a closed chapter is not rejection. Sometimes Yahuwah is simply saying that assignment is finished. Stop measuring your faithfulness only by what you are allowed to process, to possess. Measure it by whether you obeyed, whether you endured, whether you remained faithful, whether you completed what Yahuwah placed in your hands. Because the narrow path was never about making our own names great. It is about doing the Father's will. So while I still have strength, while I still have breath, while my feet can still move, I will praise, I will obey, I will endure, and I will finish my portion. Dance through the wilderness. Dance through the transition. Dance when one chapter closes. Dance knowing the work of Yahuwah is greater than any one of us. Your assignment does not have to look like someone else's to matter. Just be faithful with the portion Yahuwah gave you. Hold on. Endure. Finish your portion.